Welcome to episode 2 of Mental Health for Me, series 5. And today, just before I do start though, that I am filming this all in one day, and I'm going to edit into the separate episodes. So everything will be the same. Just thought I'd let you know that, just in case you're thinking, down you're the same stuff, that's because I filmed it all in one go. Just to make things clear. Okay, back to reality. So let's talk about triggers, talk about how I'll cope to certain triggers and new triggers appearing and stuff like that. So as you know, in the previous series, triggers is a big thing. It stems back to when I was at school being bullied, and people who had that kind of temperament, even now, when they approach you, the way they talk, the way they interact with you, it reminded me of bullies when I was at school, the way they approached and where they body language and stuff. That was a big trigger for me. That was a big trigger that I used to curl myself up into a ball, and well, not literally, but you know what I mean. That's saying, I didn't literally curl into a ball, I'd be mad though, wouldn't it? So it's the kind of saying, isn't it? People say that, but it used to trigger me anxiety. I used to spend days without sleep when them kind of things happened, and at work when I made mistakes, it triggered me, silly mistakes which I shouldn't do, kind of thing. It triggered me, and days without sleep, and anxiety was just a big stumbling block in my life. But with mind tools gained from therapy, which I'll get into another episode, it's helped me building blocks. It's helped me knock the wall down. So now when triggers happen that triggers me anxiety, it's I can deal with it a bit better. I've got the coping mechanism to cope with it. But with triggers, you knock them down. It's like hurdles. You go to a hurdle, it's a trigger, and then you get over it thinking, yeah, okay, that's in the past. But then you got triggers that appear which you never knew existed. Example was, like, as I said, about the people who, the bullies in the past, people who have the same kind of temperament and stuff. That's, I've gone past that hurdle. The next hurdle to me is large crowds of people, loud noise. I used to work at Alton Towers where there was loads of people, loads of noise. Didn't affect me one bit, which I didn't think it affected me. It might have done deep down, which is why this trigger has appeared. So now it's like, if I go downtown and there's hundreds of people there, my anxiety just goes over the roof. The trigger is just, it knocks me out, knocks me for six. The other week I was in town and they had this thing going on, lots of families down there, hundreds of people, and I just wanted to escape from there. I couldn't. I felt physically sick, and noises, loud noises, maybe because I'm hypersensitive, which I need to research more about, because that's still a new thing I found out. That's a trigger as well, but it's more prominent now, it's more noticeable now. That kind of thing really kicks me into anxiety gear, but it doesn't affect me for days and days like other things used to. It affects me for the time it's happening. It's like when I was in town the other day and there's that thing, all these people there. As soon as I got away from it, I was alright. It didn't keep bugging me like anxiety used to. This loud noise, if I get away from it, I'm happy. Everything's just like okay now. It doesn't stay in my mind. It doesn't stay there like glue, kind of thing, But in the past, things used to. As I said before, I used to have 3 days without sleep. because I was worrying about things, you know. Triggers are just, I mean, I'll constantly find new triggers, constantly find things that kick me into, give me a kick, you know, give me anxiety, a bit of a boost, you know. So yeah, it's, I don't know, I mean, yeah, everyday life, everyone has this kind of issues. It's how people deal with it, isn't it? I mean, the triggers I have, so other people, it's like, what are you moaning at? Or people that go, yeah, okay, it's a trigger, so what? You know, it's like, to me, loud noise is a trigger. To other people, quietness is a trigger. I prefer the quiet life. People, if it's quiet, it can trigger them. So the opposite can happen, you know. People must be love loads of crowds, you know, love being with hundreds of people around them. It's fantastic, but good for them. I used to be like Alton Towers, you know, used to get on park 10,000 a day. Okay, it was a big park, so you didn't see thousands all the time, but some of the times you had hundreds walking around past you, you know. But I think it's the environment you're in as well. If you're in an environment that's supposed to be noisy, supposed to be busy, then I don't think it'll trigger me. It's just the unexpected, the there and now, the unpredictable side of it. I've got no control over it. You know, if you go to a theme park, you've got control over it. You know it's going to happen, so you can just walk away from it and then go back to it, kind of thing. But if it's in the wrong content, if it's like not, if it's random or just not supposed to be, then yeah, I've got no control over it, and I think that's where my triggers kick in, you know. So I don't know, do you have triggers? Do you have this kind of stuff? Do you suffer with this? I mean, it would be nice to interview people on my podcast, Mental Health Diary. The link will be below and stuff. You know, to interview people, talk to people, maybe people in the field of mental health, or people who actually been through this, and it'd be nice to talk to them, interview them, just to chat to the people like that, live on podcast if you want to be, you know. Yeah, I just feel that even though therapists help me a lot, it's given me the, well, I'll go into that in the next episode, therapy and stuff, you know. I don't want to delve into too much. I don't want to be too repetitive, you know. I want every episode not to be the same as the last episode, you know what I mean? Which I've done before in the past, you know, when I started doing this kind of stuff. You just repeat yourself all the time, you know. But on a lighter note, so the next episode is going to be about therapy, you know, which is a massive journey in my life. Trust me, massive journey. So if you want to follow that, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you'll be notified. This series will be weekly, so it'll be, you know, look at the date this is, and then, you know, well, you know, if your notifications on, you'll be notified, you know. Yeah, and just give this comment. I want to do a end of series episode where I'm answering questions, replying to comments, so fill your boots, be as positive as you can, you know. I'm not here to help people, I'm here just to give my story. If you need help, there's doctors, GPs, therapists, people on the experts who can help you with these things. I'm just here just to give you my side and my story, and I'm doing the best I can with what I've got, you know. So thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you next week. And whatever you do, be safe, and look after your friends, because your friends will look after you.